I want to talk about something that I think is very important, and that is self-improvement. I'm constantly trying to improve myself because not only do I think it's fun, I think it's very important. I think everyone should seek to be better at something or anything or most things. Just try because life is competitive. Everything competes for to survive. Well, everything that's alive at least competes in order to survive. And I think it's especially so with human beings. And I try to stay a step ahead. I what I try to improve is my body, my mind, my skills, my ability to communicate, and my finances. My body. Your body is the main way in which you interact with the world. So you want to keep that in the best shape possible, so that you have most option. You have the most options going forward. For me, exercise is something that I never enjoyed. I just never. It's monotonous and it's boring and it's the constantly the same thing and you're never excited to do it. What I found that helped me was that I'm a very competitive person. So I decided to make exercise a competition for me. So I would always try to do better. If I did 5 sets last time, I try to do 10 or just at least be more than the last time. And I try to do that every single time I do it so that it motivates me to keep doing it. Another thing that I do is that I don't just exercise for aesthetics. I exercise towards a certain goal. Like, for instance, I would look up the most amazing things that someone could do with the human body, like incredible backflip or just climbing a mountain or whatever it is. And I look at the one that I most identify with and the one that I want to do the most. And then I try to find the steps which to improve and in order to achieve that. And then I start working out towards that goal. I have that goal in mind so that every time I work out, I know what I'm working for. I know what I'm trying to do. And if I accomplish that goal, then I move on to another goal. So that there's never going to be a limit to what you can do because you'll never reach that limit, if you understand what I'm saying. Because even if you become the strongest person, you're never going to be the fastest. And if you became the fastest, might not be the strongest or whatever it is. So you always have something to look forward to. Your mind. I try to improve my mind by learning new things. I'm constantly seeking a new knowledge. I think one of the things I'm going to do in the future is probably learning other languages. Right now, I'm only able to speak English, and even that is not as good as I would like it to be. What I've learned is that I know more words in my mind than I can actually pronounce because I never actually say them. I usually read them because I'm a big reader. So I spend a lot of time reading. And then when I actually started doing something where I have to say these words out loud, I'm like, oh my God, I can't even pronounce it. It's just, I'm just constantly tripping over myself. So I always seek to learn new things. Skills. I'm always trying to gain new skills. Well, I'm not always trying to do that, but when I see something that's cool that someone else can do, I'm like, I want to do that. I think one of the best example of this was singing. I used to always sing, just like when I hear a song come on or whatever, and I know it and I heard it before, I would sing along with the song, but I was never really good at it. And it was like my voice was always screechy, or just like I just couldn't quite get the notes out. So then when I went to college, I think I was majoring in psychology and I was completely bored with the major. I didn't really want to do anything with it. I was just sort of doing it because I thought the subject was interesting at the time. But after halfway through, when I realized, oh my God, I'm actually going to have to do this job, I'm like, oh, hell no. So I took a vocal class and just singing. It had nothing to do with my major, but it's a skill that I wanted to improve on or just learn how to actually do it. And yeah, it was so cool to be able to do that. I was never really got good, but now I'm way better at it, and I'm more confident in doing it because I chose to improve on that skill. And yeah, I may never become a great singer, but what if it's just a situation where I'm just like with friends and I can just entertain people and just be comfortable doing something like that, and I never have to really worry about it. It's never going to be a situation where people are like, oh, sing, and I choose not to do it, not because I don't want to do it, but because I'm embarrassed to do it. So uh, just things like that is why it's important to learn new skills. Communication. I think when I started doing stand-up comedy is when I realized the importance of communication. The thing about me was that growing up as a kid, I never really had a cell phone, or I never really watched TV or things like that. But later on, when those things were introduced into my life, I never really fully embraced them because I hated talking over the phone. It was just so weird. I'm more comfortable talking to people in person because I'm used to reading their expressions, and there's more to engage in a conversation that's in person over something that's over the phone, or something like that. But within doing comedy, I realized that the people that I used to that I admire in comedy, they grew up in a different environment than I do now. Now the world is all about social media, and if you want to improve in comedy, you would have to have a following first before clubs would book you, rather than just being good at stage, which is important as well. But social media following is more important because it's how you're going to make money, and it's how clubs are going to book you, and you're going to be able to do more. Um, because if people don't know who you are, how they're going to come out to see you? And that's actually why I decided to start a YouTube channel, is because I wanted to be better at communicating and seeing myself on screen and speaking and stuff like that, and maybe even hearing comments from other people is going to help me to improve, because I'm going to know what I have to do better. And finances, of course. At a certain point in life, you're going to realize that the way that you earn money now is contingent on you being uh, healthy. First of all, you have to, if you use your body to make money, what happens if you injure yourself? Then you can no longer do whatever that task was. What happens if you lose your memory, or you just simply or in a depressive state where you can't really focus on work anymore? You've essentially put yourself at a disadvantage by not doing things that will earn your money passively, like passive income or a side hustle, and other ways where you can earn money, so you're not completely dependent on whatever you're doing currently, so that you're adaptable in the future, and you can possibly do something else, but you have that that option, and you have that breathing room to do something different. And yeah, and that's just all I have to say about self-improvement. It's very important, and I want people to constantly be doing that in their life, because it'll serve you more than you know, because it's not about now, it's about the future.